Welcome back, beautiful souls. So I'm gonna get myself situated again because what had happened was we had started off, or we had left off on the wheel, but I was actually doing a lot of other things and channeling a lot of information before I realized that the video had cut off. So me being a Virgo, it's pissing me off. But you know, like, I feel like the reason why that might have happened is because there's something else that needs to be said. I feel like no matter what, when something doesn't go the way that I plan, that's usually because there's something else I need to say, or there's something that's needed that I didn't add in the previous message. So I'm gonna get my bearings, tune into your energy again, because we had left off on the sense of feeling this idea of anger, of feeling like there's something you're kind of maybe expecting the worst at times, maybe because you might feel like it's better to expect the worst than to expect that things are just going to work out just willy-nilly. I'm hearing willy-nilly, so maybe you guys might say that or feel like you might be in disbelief at how much is coming to you and how much Spirit wants to give you. And it's like you just are like, what the heck? What's the catch? You might think that a lot. Like, what is the catch of all this good stuff happening to me? What is up with that? And I want you guys to believe that it actually is supposed to happen for you guys. There's this energy of you coming to grips with your gifts, with the abundance that's meant for you. You're not meant to stay in this energy. You're meant to flow through it. You're not meant to stay angry or upset at your situation, at the world, at the state of the world. I feel like you guys are probably you likely are empaths. You can feel when things are shifting in the world around you. You might feel a sense of, why is all of this happening? And you may also feel like you see the divisiveness in our country. You see the divisiveness in the world around us. And you're kind of maybe upset sometimes at, like, why is that happening? Why does it feel like people are out to get us, or they're not helping us, or they're just, like, kind of passing us by? You may have some anger towards that, and it's in your own right, because the truth is not very easy to accept about how things are operating in the world right now. But you can see that it's all in flow, and it's all happening in good timing. So I want to kind of continue off of this, because I remembered us going through these cards here on the right. But I feel like Spirit is asking me to step back into serendipity, into the energy of seeing that the events that are happening in your life and around you are very intentional. There's nothing that is not going to happen because it was meant to happen. You're riding on this clover, if you guys can see that. You guys are riding on that. You guys have so much to look forward to. The Wheel of Fortune and the clover are not coincidences. There's a sense of you coming unscathed. It's like you guys have been through difficulties, yes, so you're not necessarily just kind of blinded from all of what's happening, all of the dark things that are happening. But there's this energy, and there's an understanding that's coming to you of how things could have gone in such a different way, and they didn't, but that it actually was all crafted in a way where you came out on top. So you guys have something involving people and partnerships, and I was talking about that earlier. There's like partnerships with the community card. There are people that are coming across your path that are meant to be there, that are going to actually know you on a soul level. They're not going to just come, they're not just going to look the part. We as a society, we're shifting our idea of people and how they look, of how we profile individuals. We're looking into the heart. And I feel like you're the kind of person that looks at the heart, and that you're also focused on your self-development and growth, because I mentioned earlier that there's this energy of you being more so focused on your self-growth and development. I don't know if the last recording mentioned this, but there's this there are people here that are a life path 1, or they are focusing on their self, and they may be an Aries rising, they may be an Aries north node, south node, or they may be Aries moon. Libra is going to be something that you're going to be kind of honing in on as well. So there's some people here that have a Libra north node, a Libra moon, and or maybe a Libra rising, of coming into an understanding of who people are. of coming into an understanding of not just the negative side of who people can be and who they are, because we've all been hurt or jaded by somebody else. But there's this energy of you coming out of this anger and coming into flow and coming into more so joy at the things that are coming across your path, because they're only going to make you a better person. There are soulmates that are coming to you as well, whether that be in a romantic relationship, or it means a relationship like a friendship. This feels like a friendship. Okay, you might already have somebody in your life that's like, that you're lucky to have, that was orchestrated in your life for a reason. Divine timing and divine truth are at work here. You guys are focused on divine timing and divine truth. I want you to know that the riches that are meant for you are not going to pass you by. This card says new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. Okay, guys, the energy that I was feeling so earlier before the message was cut short was just feeling all of your guys' like, it's like defensiveness. You guys are defending something that you're very passionate about, but you need to stop fighting battles that are not meant for you anymore. There's a need for you to go into really learning your craft and honing in on what you're really good at. Allow yourself to go into training. Don't come into any endeavor with a mindset that you don't have enough, because when you do that, you're already limiting yourself before the money comes to you. I was talking to this earlier, but there's a sense of, there's an understanding that we have of, if we see it, we can believe it, but there's a reason why that can only go so far. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but what if tomorrow is going to bring you something great? Are you going to kind of focus on just what you've seen so far because of what you've seen, rather than just saying, I want to be open to what comes tomorrow? There's a need for you to be more open to the dreams that you have in your heart. And this card here with the Seven of Gabriel is about standing up for what you believe in. What do you believe about yourself and about your situation? The despair and the feeling of lack is something that needs to shift in order for you to experience this Ten of Pentacles here, the Ten of Ariel. It says there is so much to be grateful for, as we talked about. Financial success and the promise of retirement. A rich and rewarding family life. I'm speaking to a number of people that have this energy of going through things and going through it alone. When I was talking earlier before it cut off, or while it was cut off, I had actually asked Spirit and had just shuffled the decks. I'd shuffled a couple of decks, and I asked for the energy of the people that are watching this. And what I got was slave. So surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. This is not the sense of being a slave to something, of having to stick to something that's not good for you, or something that's only going to benefit the other person. By all means, I'm the last person that would want this energy, would want to say to you that you need to be this. But what I interpret this energy as an Andromedan, as a person that is a person of color, my relationship with this word has shifted so much, because my perspective initially of seeing this word was hell no. You know, and there's an understanding that the soul is not something that you can restrain unless it's by choice. Meaning, I decided to come here in this incarnation as a Black woman for a reason, for me to experience something that I didn't experience before. I feel like I'm very thankful for what I had gone through in this life, because I didn't have to go through the difficulties of my ancestors before me. But there's a way to surrender without disvaluing yourself. There's a way to surrender to something without losing who you are. I feel like a lot of people think that being a sex worker or being anything, like, I'm just giving you guys examples, okay? So don't take it as me personally, but I'm saying sometimes people look at certain situations out in the world today and say this person has given up on their body, their mind, their soul. That is their personal choice. If they decided to do it, their free will overcomes every situation they've been through. You can rise up from a situation of feeling destitute, of feeling disempowered. you can decide to stand up. Even if your body is not standing up for it, your mind and your soul can be at complete odds with the situations that are going on. The situations that are going on in the world, the way people were mistreated back in the day, that is a physical thing, and that is very valid. But don't think that all of those people somehow lost their spirit. Don't think that, because obviously they didn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this position. Recognize your power of choice in all the difficulties that you experience. If you get nothing out of this reading, recognize that you are in full control of your life, and recognize that your power of choice is something you should honor. Choose wisely, choose what's beneficial to you, and trust it. We all have our stories of how we get to the situations that we're in, but at the end of the day, we are not, our soul is not something you can tame. Okay, guys? Our soul is something that speaks volumes. There's this energy of serendipity. There's an energy of things happening for a reason. This entire conversation has changed because of something that was invited into this energy. Someone needed to hear what I had to say about that card. The number 7 is so prevalent here. This is about divine timing at work. The number 9 is here, which is about completing something. There's something that you're meant to do in this incarnation that your ancestors are helping you with. There's a sense of people coming to your aid. There's someone here. There's 1 to 2 people that are actually coming to help you with a partnership. I feel like it's one person in particular. There are a number of people that want to help you, but there are 2 people with the soulmates. There's someone here that is going to meet someone that's going to be very beneficial to them, and vice versa. They're going to have a very symbiotic relationship that involves partnership in work and career. And it's going to happen in 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months. But I feel 7 days particularly for someone. The number 7 is so prevalent here. We also have child wounded. This energy was coming out for you guys. This is about awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens a learning path of forgiveness. You guys are learning how to forgive, and you may have already understood and come to an understanding of what it means to let something that was very hurtful and that was very destructive that someone did, letting yourself flow from it and to let it go, but not to forget what happened. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened to you. It's about doing it for yourself, and it's about recognizing the actions of another as separate from yours. You're not responsible for what someone did to you. They're responsible for what they did. So there's a sense of kind of disengaging from the any guilt, any shame, any fear about how someone treated you, and saying I deserved it. Or maybe thinking in a way that was not healthy towards yourself, of feeling sadness, of feeling lonely, of feeling disengaged from the world around you. There's a feeling of you helping other people that are going through that. And it starts with you first. It starts with you learning to forgive the oppressor, to forgive the people that have oppressed you, that have hurt you, that have made you feel lower or insignificant. I'm getting like a mother figure as well. There's someone that had a mother figure that was very oppressive, very controlling, very rageful and vengeful. Sometimes I feel as though there's some people I'm talking to here that have actually had very, very destructive, they have seen people with very destructive impulses. I'm hearing raging alcoholic, like someone who is an alcoholic and someone who would hurt and inflict pain upon others through their rage. Or they would emotionally, verbally, physically, sexually abuse the individual because of their anger towards themselves. There's this energy here also of Samaritan, of helping and having the capacity to help those that you would rather ignore. Sometimes we'd rather ignore the things that are very hurtful to us. Sometimes we'd rather ignore the things that are too painful to rehash. And I feel like Spirit is giving you the strength and the discernment of knowing when it's the right time for you to acknowledge that you have this ability of networking, This ability of speaking your truth and other people being healed, or it helps facilitate that healing process for other people. You see how this one person, it feels like you going through whatever it is that you had gone through, and also being able to impart wisdom to someone else in order to help them in divine timing. There's no need to rush this process. This life is all about, I'm hearing this life is all about rewards. You are going to be so handsomely rewarded, is what I'm hearing, for what you had experienced. Regardless, it's like it's something that like is innate to who you are as an individual. You are meant to be fruitful. You're meant to help other people. And I was saying this in the last video, and it's coming up in my mind again. There's this energy of you having this need to impart wisdom to other people. You're like a natural teacher. You're a natural entrepreneur. You're a natural, you're a charismatic individual when you want to be. I feel like some people have kind of accepted that they're more introverted. I think we're all a mixture. And I feel like you have these moments where you can just change the energy in a room, because you have this ability to express yourself in such a way where people are just drawn to that. I also got here addict, which is where I got the color for addict is also root chakra. It's red. There's like something about your foundation. And what I was saying with addict, it says that it helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. You see the signs and you know the signs. When you see someone that's starting to get a little like abusive or anything like that, you stop and you stare at them and you're like, that's what I don't want, or that's what I don't want to explore or confront. You might be learning how to confront this behavior in yourself and in others. You may have dealt with alcoholism, drug abuse. It's like coping mechanisms. You're being shown how to cope through some addictive behaviors that you've seen outside of yourself or that you're experiencing inside of yourself. It could be both. There's also this energy of the poet. We had these two cards come out while the other recording was going on. It was poet and artist. It's about speaking your truth in a way that is artistic in your approach. It's very symbolic. You guys express a dimension of life that's just beyond the five senses. You inspire others to see life symbolically. Some of you guys are storytellers. You guys are able to kind of create a story. You might be writing a book. You might be starting a book club, which is like grouping up with a number of people to talk about a book or something like that. It could be about spiritual gifts, spiritual arts, about massage therapy, energy healing. It could be so many things, but there's a sense of you also speaking out through writing. There's a sense of, there's like a gift here, if you guys don't already know it, for you to express yourself in a way where people understand you so deeply. And they could have just saw or heard you one time and they felt like you got them. That's what it feels like. I also hear inspires you to put compassion into action with advocate. You guys are an advocate for the people that have gone through what you have gone through, or who are going through what you have gone through. You guys might have been raised in the foster care system or had an experience with the foster care system. I'm also seeing 2 kids here. I don't know if you guys have 2 kids or there was like you and a brother, you and a sister, but there's 2 people holding on tightly to each other. There might be someone that you're trying to help and assist, but you feel like you can't do it all for them. They have to do it for themselves. There might be this path of forgiveness for a child or for a sibling that has hurt you. There's a lot of very intense energies here. The number 6 is so prevalent. Your relationship with partnerships is being addressed. That's your inner healing, your inner child healing is addressing the anger within relationships. That is part of your North Node, part of your journey in this incarnation is to deal with these emotions. You also have femme fatale. If you guys can see that. It says highlighting the erotic energy of the feminine opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. There's something about you maybe operating outside of your feminine energy, and there's a need for you to reflect and see that feminine energy isn't weak inherently. Feminine energy is very, very intuitive, very strong, very aware. You might have felt like you had to be more masculine in your energy in order to get to be taken seriously, but there's a need for you to recognize that you're going to be taken seriously with the right people in your life that actually know what healthy boundaries are, that know what healthy femininity is, and are not just trying to use and abuse you through your feminine energy. You know, there's a sense of some people thinking, oh, you know, since you're a woman, you have to do X, Y, and Z. Because this is expected of you. This is what you should be doing to your, you know, with yourself. There's a need for you to recognize that your soul is speaking for you. That's what I'm hearing. Be who you are unapologetically and authentically. Don't allow anyone's perception to affect how you see femininity. Because you are meant to be both. You are meant to be, we all are a mixture of masculine and feminine. We're all one. We're all connected. I also got here beforehand these cards as well, which was enjoy new beginnings. Enjoy the life that's coming, that's yours to claim. This is your life. I feel like I'm going to be doing a reading on this, so if you guys are interested in pick-a cards, I think I'm going to do a reading on inner child healing as well, because I feel like you guys could get more information and so much more out of that, as well as this, because this is for a specific group of you, but there's more that needs to be said here. So we had enjoy new beginnings. There's a sense of you getting out of your head, getting out of isolation, and of celebrating and socializing and moving forward into partnerships that are aligned with you. You cannot find the people that you're meant to if you are just focused on, if you're just focused on not wanting to get hurt. Trust me, I know how that feels. I'm hearing pound, so you might have a special connection with animals. You may have an animal right now or a pet that you received from a pound. For some reason, that word's not even here, but that pet wants to connect with you more. They love you very deeply, is what I'm hearing. This pet may be alive or passed on, but they love you very, very much. And what I wanted to say that I said in the video earlier that was cut off, there's this energy of seeing the power of the soul rather than just the power of the physicality. Meaning your pet was with you in the physical, and that was a beautiful experience. I feel for most of you. For most of you, you connected so deeply with your pets and with your friends, to be honest. That's how it feels. It feels like such a divine connection between the two of you, like your souls were like you guys were soulmates. Know that the soul is still alive, and very much so. With the fates, the number 17 is coming to mind. For me, the number 17, I'm just going to be very vulnerable with you guys. The number 17 was the day on January 17th that my grandmother passed away. So, there's something about January 17th or the number 17 that is very impactful for you guys. It's about the soul and about, you know, of course, my grandmother's not my pet, guys, so don't get too focused on the topic. But the energy is this love for somebody that they're family to you. They're not just an animal, okay? They're like your soulmates. There are people in your life that are not with you right now, but their energy is still there. They're so much alive. They're actually more so connected to you than they were when they were alive. And that's going to resonate for the people that it's meant to. There's also re-energize your life. There's this energy of clearing your space, clearing your environment so that you can open up and approach things with less of a load on you. Have you noticed that when things are cluttered, your mind almost feels like way more anxious and cluttered, and like you just don't know how to get things straight? And that is the energy of what I'm getting. There's a need for you to release some things energetically, but also in your environment, your room, your kitchen, your bathroom. There's like a lot of stuff that need to be cleared out and moved around in order to invite positive energy in your space. You may already sage Palo Santo and do all of that, but there's a need for you to allow yourself to clear out anything that's old. If you guys have memorabilia or knickknacks or stuff from people that you don't want to be associated with anymore, I'm also getting there's a need for you to throw that shit away. And what I mean by that is literally the things that have been in the presence of someone that you don't necessarily like or even enjoy. Sometimes that energy sticks in your home. So there's a need for you to be present, to seek your intuition and what your intuition's telling you to do. And if you feel that, like you feel, damn, that thing right there, that was a desk I got from this drug addict, or like some guy that I used to have a relationship with, but they beat me, or there's something in your environment that needs to be taken out and fanned out and saged, and like decide what you need to do with that, because that's your responsibility to yourself and your home. Don't feel like you have to throw it out, but recognize the connection you have to that item. Like there's an item here. There's also a need for you to clear your mind. Be present, focus, and embrace what's coming for you guys. Now that you're starting something new, your spirit guides want to talk to you as well. You guys might have some affinity towards the Native American culture. You may be Native American in your background. There's this energy of allowing them to speak to you and to guide you. You guys might also be drawn to the totem animal here of the eagle. I also remembered when I was channeling this energy, I got the beauty of this stone turquoise. I think someone needs to look into what that crystal is and see what attributes it has and what spiritual meanings turquoise has, because I think that'll be very powerful and effective to you. So we also have here nature spirits. We have elves, fairies, and rock formations. There's some connection that you have to energy. What's interesting is that some of you guys may relate to nymphs, and when I say nymphs, I don't mean nymphomaniacs. I mean, which is similar a little bit, not really, but it's about being very connected to nature surrounding you. There's a need for you to either go into nature or to kind of allow yourself to rest and relax in a very natural setting, like by the water, by a lake, by a river, by a park. There's a need for you to really allow trees and the nature surrounding you to speak to you. Sometimes just taking a walk will help you reflect on something and see it in a new way. Even just, some people might think this is odd, but speak to nature. I feel like we kind of just assume, oh yeah, tree won't talk to us, we shouldn't talk to them, but they actually are living, breathing beings. I feel like you guys would get a lot out of that if you don't already know that. And talk to your guides about how to do that if you need help as well. We also have honor the deities around you. So you guys are surrounded. You guys are surrounded by people that love you and that really treasure you. They want you to know that they're available. I heard earlier as well, Osiris and Isis. These two individuals these two people are very impactful. These are two ascended masters that want to help you on your journey, and they also experienced a lot of difficulties. Isis, the goddess Isis, she's a cosmic mother. She's a mother of the fatherless, of those who didn't have parents that were there for them. She's gone through so much, and I would really recommend, I'm going to be looking into her a lot more so I could give you guys some information on her, but I just remembered her being a powerful feminine that actually went through a lot of difficulties through being orphaned, which is very similar to this energy of being wounded and orphaned by others, and of finding her strength and of helping to bring other people out of a feeling of loneliness and isolation. You guys need to allow yourself to rest and recalibrate. These cards are slipping. I wonder if it's because of the energy, just kind of, you're just needing to go through each of these steps very quickly, teaching other people and sharing what you know. There's a need for you to teach. There's also move your body. Allow yourself to move through life and flow through it. Don't allow yourself to be stagnant. Don't allow yourself to stay in this energy of anger and resentment, guys, because that will only produce more and more anger. Explore your creative side is the last card that I have for you guys. Allow yourself to take a step in the direction of doing what's right for you and not what's right for other people, of flowing into what's good for you, and of not allowing any unforgiveness to stick to you. Allow yourself to visualize your healing process. Some of you guys should really look into painting, because we have explore your creative side alongside artist and poet. You guys are meant to operate in these gifts. If you guys don't already know, there's something that you need to write, there's something you need to draw, there's something you need to paint, there's something that needs to come alive that's creative. And it could be a venture that you're going to be doing, or it could just be a way to let off steam. There's a need for you to do that. So I think that's all that I have for you guys. But I just thank you so much for coming in. Stay tuned for my pick a cards and for my collective readings, channeled messages that I have. I might do some Andromedan and Starseed readings as well, because I feel like there are a number of you guys that feel alone. But I will just kind of see what the energies are telling me. But don't allow yourself to struggle, guys. Don't struggle through life. You have so much abundance coming towards you, and address your anger, any anger that you have towards a situation that you're dealing with right now. See past the offense and see the hope that's waiting for you. I love you guys. Take care.